Hi, my name is Ian. This is my second year working at the Writing Center as a writing consultant. We offer services in a variety of writing areas. We're located in the Glasscock building in room 112, and today I'm going to be discussing how to format your APA in-text citations. So you must cite any information that you provide that's from other sources. It doesn't come from your own knowledge, and so anything that you reference in text must include an in-text citation, and that corresponds with your source information that you include on your reference page for APA. So in other words, any source that's on your reference pages must also be in an in-text citation within your project. So APA uses an author date system for citing your sources, and sources and information can be presented as either a quote or a summary or paraphrase. So citing your sources, the in-text citation should direct the reader to the correct citation on the reference page. So there's two types of in-text citations. They can be a narrative citation, where that's typically where you would reference the source in your text. So you would say, according to the author Smith in 2004, and then you'd state the fact. A parenthetical citation is where you don't make reference to the author, the publication in the text. You would just append the citation in parentheses at the end of the sentence or quote. So narrative citation, again, it uses a signal word, phrase, or sentence to indicate to the reader that you'll be including research material. So again, here's an example. It says, according to Burroughs, 2009, the sky is blue. And because it's a quote, they also include a page number. And again, another example, Burroughs, 2009, stated the sky is blue. So you're naming the author in your actual sentence. Parenthetical citations, on the other hand, don't do that same thing where they mention the author's name in the sentence. And if the author's name, year is not used in the signal phrase, the information must be provided in parentheses at the end of the sentence. So here are some examples. One study found that the most important element in comprehending non-native speech is familiarity with the topic. Gas in Varonis, 1984. So they don't make mention of the authors in the sentence, they just append it in parentheses at the end. Citing a quotation, if the author is named in the sentence via signal phrase, put the page number in parentheses after closing the quotation. So here, this is an example of a narrative citation. They name the author in their sentence. They say, McLeya 2022 makes the point that people often mix up the words capital and capital. And then they put the page number by putting parentheses and P with a period, and came from page 89. And again, this is an example of a parenthetical citation below. It says both reading and writing are acts of composing. And they put the author's name, the year, and the page number at the end. Deciding summary or paraphrase. A page number is not required for a paraphrase or a summary. That's different from a quote that does require the page number. So you would include the author's last name and the year, either in a narrative citation introducing the material or in parentheses following it. So just the same deal. The narrative is this first example. You have the author's names and then 2002, and then you have your paraphrase. Below that, it's the parenthetical example where you don't mention the author's names in the sentence, you just put it at the end in parentheses. So citing sources with no author is a little bit different. If you, again, try your best to find the author, but if there really is none listed, all you would do is use the title of the work in place of it. So you can see an example here. Al Yankovic has been a song parodist for 40 years, and they couldn't find the author, so they put the title of the source they're quoting, which is Weird Al Yankovic biography. That goes in quotations, and then you just put the year like normal. You can also do this in a narrative style as well. As you can see below, it says, in Weird Al Yankovic biography 2023, Yankovic's star on the Dr. Demento radio show is discussed. Citing sources with no date. Again, try to find the date. If you really can't find one, all you do is put N period D period in place of date. It stands for no date. So you can see here, they say, according to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, and then they couldn't find the date, so they just put ND. Citing sources with no page number. If no page number can be found, use another way of locating the information. One of the most common ways is putting instead the paragraph number. So you can see here at the end, they say Chamberlain 2014. They couldn't find the page, so they just put paragraph 1. And then on the example on the bottom, they're citing the CDC. It was from 2017, and they say it's from the "What can you do" section because they couldn't find the page number. Citing during an oral presentation. So this is essentially when you're speaking out loud and you just use a narrative citation to cite your material. So if you were presenting and you were going to say, these should be acknowledged in your speech or presentation as either, and I quote, or as the source put it. Uh, so, excuse me, that's how you would phrase it. You'd say, and I quote, you would name the author, or you'd say, as the source put it. That's what you would say in your actual presentation to cite your source. For books, you would include the title and the author, such as by saying, according to Christopher Isherwood, author of I Am Camera. So you would just make reference to it verbally. Also, continuing to talk about citing during an oral presentation, here are some examples. If you're going to talk about a periodical or magazine, include the title and date. So a National Geographic article from January 4th, 2010 explains. For a journal, include the journal title, date, and author. Angela Anderson writes in the spring of 2004 issue of Feminist Studies, so it makes reference to all those things. And for a website, you would write the organizational or longstanding websites should be quoted using their title. So the title of the website is the American Heart Association website, includes information, and then you would continue from there. And that is all for our presentation on in-text citations for APA. If you have any more that you would like to learn about APA, feel free to watch our other videos or come visit the Writing Center.